I need like a designated writing jacket or something. You know, something besides just wearing my Hawks jacket all the time, my Dobby jacket, my Tomura jacket. Just, I need a writer's jacket. Just, please. And speaking of writing and everything, I'm coming to you guys with a sort of hybrid episode. It's sort of a book talk and it's sort of a The Crow Has a Writing Desk episode. And what I'm talking about today is actually I listened to it earlier this week, and I started listening to it again because it's such a good story, or not even a story, it's just a good memoir and everything. And it's written by one of my favorite authors, and you probably know them too. He is known for his incredible worlds of suspense, some fantasy, and also just absolute horror. He is the author of Pet Sematary, he's the author of Carrie, The Shining, Dr. Sleep, and a host of other stories. That's right, today we are going to be talking about Stephen King, and specifically the book on writing that he wrote as a memoir of the craft in the early 2000s, and that is going to be today's episode. Okay, I'm opting to take off the jacket and I'll just wear this camouflage tank top. So just, yeah. Before I get into this wonderful discussion of Stephen King's memoir and everything, I do have some announcements. First off, this coming week will be very, very packed when it comes to videos and everything, except for Wednesday because I've got to work over Wednesday morning. But the reason for that is because I am actually going to be going on a 9-day trip. Me and my family are going camping in Michigan, and we're going to be going to visit Mackinac Island, and I will also be recording the journey for you guys. I'll be doing little vlog episodes for each day of the week of the journey, and just stuff like that and everything. You know, it's basically like an entire in a 9-day long vlog post. So there's that. We're sort of writing it off as a business trip because I'm going to be taking some of the books that were not claimed during the sweepstakes giveaway live stream, and I'm going to be taking those to bookstores up in Michigan to see if they will actually sell the books and everything. So cross your fingers. I hope that it helps. Speaking of my book, if you like paranormal dark fantasy with a little bit of romance, a little bit of mystery, a coup to overthrow the ruling monarchy because of a villain's past trauma, and also a little bit of blood and gore along the way, which is oddly enough a detail I keep forgetting to make, then you may be interested in my debut novel, Arborea Lux. Arborea Lux follows the journey of a young woman who is the last Asterblood. She is the last of a very, very specific kind of people who are known more for their compassion, and also that compassion that seems to make them just very, very, well, for lack of a better term, passionate about some subjects. It follows our main character's journey from the field in which she wakes up through the barracks of the Watchman's Guild and the Keepers of the Watch, and all the way into the city of Obsidia Terma, all the way to the royal estate. And she learns along the way some things about herself and some things about the people whom she's come to know. And it's all driven by this mystery to find closure, to see what happened to the Asterblood before her, Luxia, her namesake, who also happens to be the twin sister of the one who saved her life in the Pale Woods. So if you guys are interested in seeing their journey, into seeing how Asilas and Luxalia just like mesh and like banter with each other and everything, you may enjoy this book. The link for the book is down in the description below. It's to my Amazon link, and if you actually have already read it and everything, please go and leave me a review. Leave me a review on Goodreads. Goodreads is a site that that helps with circulation and also to compile reviews and everything. So I would very much appreciate it if you guys left a review on my book. A bit of an update about the Seraphim trilogy. I am still in the first half of the third book, but it is coming along swimmingly, I may say. And get ready for a lot of like heartbreak and angst. Seraphim is the Seraphim trilogy is the sequel trilogy to Arborea Lux. It takes place generations after the events of Arborea Lux, and there are some legacy characters that sort of make an appearance in namesake only, but there are certain facets of Arborea Lux that actually show up in the Seraphim trilogy. So when those come out, I hope you guys enjoy. And now, on to the video. One of my favorite quotes from Stephen King's book on writing, Memoir of the Craft, is that books are a portable kind of magic. And I actually realized that upon listening through the events that made him the writer he is today, I didn't realize that he and I are both discovery writers, and that was just that and for some reason I feel validated for that fact, that this man who just wrote for the heck of it and just absolutely nearly dominated the field of suspense and horror in our postmodern era and everything. It was validating. The book is really, really good. I was actually listening to it via audiobook, but half of the book is about the events that led him to become the writer he is today. It focuses on his childhood, the things that he was going through when he was in high school, in college, how he met his wife Tabitha, and it also talks later on about his addiction to alcohol and also drug abuse, and how his wife, his children, and many of his writer friends in the field helped him to see what he was doing was wrong, and how he basically got through that and everything. It does end on a very interesting note. I actually didn't know this, but he actually ended up in the hospital because he got hit by a car, which I thought was very interesting, and to hear him literally, because he actually reads the audiobook too, to hear him like go on about like him going in and out of consciousness from the pain and everything, it was intriguing. The second half of the book and everything talks about little tips and pieces of advice that he gives to aspiring writers. One of which is to read the Elements of Style by Strunk and E.B. White, which I've not read, but I'm now interested in. He also likens the tools of the trade as the writer's toolbox, and goes on to say that you should have a understanding of grammar and composition, of style and everything, but also little things like that make your style your own. I forget the words he used specifically, but it was very, very good advice, and I actually am in the middle of writing a letter to Stephen King, and I actually want to send it to him before I go on vacation, because it's just like, Stephen King is an inspiration to me because some of the movie adaptations to his books and everything, just like, they made up my childhood. One of which was the original It, and to say that gave me a severe case of clinophobia, that's the fear of clowns if you didn't know, would be a drastic understatement. But some of his other books, some of his other books that were made into movies and everything, I liked. The Shining, I've seen bits and pieces of it. Dr. Sleep is actually one of my more favorites. Pet Sematary was frightening but interesting. I loved the mythology behind Pet Sematary. And a slew of other stories and everything. I've not seen Carrie. I probably should, considering that was his first book that he actually got him his start and everything. But it's on my reading list. So, but Stephen King and this book on writing is it's very, very interesting. It's the 20th anniversary edition, and it's got little bits by his two sons, Owen, and also an author that you guys may know, Joe Hill. I did not realize upon finishing the book that Joe Hill is actually his eldest son. I believe his full name is Joseph Hillstrom King, but he decided to go by Joe Hill as a pen name. And seeing some of the things that happen in his book Nosferatu and some of the references he makes to his father's books, it makes a whole lot of sense now. But this book was such an inspiration for me, and it inspired me to work more diligently on my writing in terms of style and composition. And it's like you would have to listen to the book or read the book in order to understand what I mean, because I highly recommend it. It was astonishing to see how many things that Stephen King and I had in common. We both started creating stories at a very young age. We are both discovery writers, and we tend to draw from experiences for our stories and everything. I'll give you a perfect example. In Arborea Lux is I wrote Luxalia to be specifically someone who is finding herself, and I had written it during the time that I was still trying to find myself as a writer, as a creator, and stuff like that. And when I finally finished Arborea Lux and everything, and I figured out that I really do want to be a writer and everything, that basically was the match that lit the trail of gasoline, and I have been writing diligently ever since. And I've got a whole lot more projects on my proverbial table, as it were. Not just a plate, it's a table. It's a banquet table. And I'll hopefully be working on some of those. After I get done with the first annotations and revisions of the entirety of the Seraphim trilogy, I'll probably go and work a little bit on my second story, Dreams of Blood and Ink, because I really, really like that one. And I actually want to work on Ghosts of Birchwood Hollow too. But I think that is it for this video. Thank you guys so much for watching and everything. If you guys liked this video, I hope you guys will drop a like and also drop a comment to see what you guys think. If you've not subscribed already, please subscribe and ring that bell for more notifications. And also check out some of the other content that I've got on this channel. If you would like to support me, I've got 2 ways for you to do it, besides the obvious sharing, liking, subscribing, dropping a comment, and stuff like that. I've got a Ko-Fi account, which means you can go and can leave me tips and everything, and also you can go to my second channel, the Otaku Section, where I basically go into a deep dive of anime and manga through the lens of a storyteller and a writer. And it's also a place for me to just absolutely geek out about some of my favorite animes and manga and everything. So if you are interested in that, you can go down to the description below and you will find my Ko-Fi account and my link to the Otaku Section down in the description. If you guys want to keep up to date with some of my other content, whether it be my writing goals, my life in general, just updates to be exact, then you can go down to my description and follow all of my socials. I've got an author page on Facebook, I've got Twitter, I've got Instagram, I've got TikTok. I've recently started going on a TikTok campaign to promote Arborea Lux, and I've been coming out with little teaser trailers and everything for the book. So I hope you guys will enjoy those. Stephen King's quote, books are a portable type of magic, is sort of similar to my own, and it is this. A world lies beyond the cover of a book, and it is just waiting for you to take that deep dive into it, to follow along the journey of the hero or heroine, to fight villains or befriend them, to fight beasts or befriend them, to be the hero or to be the villain, just to pick a side. Whatever the case is, the book is there waiting for you to just immerse yourself into the story. And I hope you guys have a very wonderful day. I hope you guys have a book that is just waiting for you to either write or to read. And I hope you guys will just hop on that task soon. So I think I'll leave it there and just let you get on to that. Bye, guys.